Morning, everybody, and thank you very much for ECN for this great opportunity to give you a bit of an overview about what we do as a charity, the Lighthouse Construction Industry Charity, commonly known as the Lighthouse Club across the country. So I just thought I'd give a quick overview of who we are, why we exist, and what we do. So here goes. We've been around for a while. We were constituted in 1956, so we've been around, and we were 100% dedicated to the mental, physical and financial well-being of all construction workers and their families in the UK and Ireland. A little bit of history about how we got our name. A group of senior executives perhaps had a few libations in a pub on the northeast of England after an expo, and they were looking then at the horrendous fatalities on site. At that time in 1956, there was about 200 fatalities on site across the UK and Ireland. They said, we must do something about this to help the families. And they walked outside the establishment they're in, and they saw St Mary's Lighthouse and said, let's call this the Lighthouse Club, and it will be a beacon of hope for all our construction workers. And that's where the legacy started from. But since that time, we've gone way beyond just being a benevolent type charity. And in the more recent times, we've modernized and we do so much more than just benevolence. We've got about 21 locations, volunteer-led locations around the country, where these are just jolly good eggs that get together on a regular basis and run a few events every year around the country to network and raise a little bit of money for the charity. And also we've got a national office that drives some national campaigns as well. So pretty well established around the UK and Ireland. So if you're looking for an event, when of course we can actually attend events, then there'll be one near you, and come and join us and network with your colleagues in construction. But why do we exist? Yeah, I mentioned a little bit earlier about the fatalities on site, but construction, although has huge rewards, it also carries a lot of risk. And every year there are on average about 38 fatalities on our building sites. It's come a long way since the 200 in 1956, but that's still 30 to 40 fatalities every year, too many. And health and safety has come a long way to fixing many of those problems. Every year there are around about 2,000 major accidents that incapacitate a worker to such an extent that they can't actually go back to do the job that they used to do. Again, it's a number that goes kind of under the radar, that one, but it's very important because those people need a lot of help. I won't go through all the other statistics, but the ones that have really hit the industry for six was the research that was done on stress, anxiety and depression. And when the industry did this work, we found out that 20% of all work-related illnesses that is reported relates to stress, anxiety and depression. And the other thing that really hit the industry hard was the number of suicides in the workforce. Unfortunately, our industry is the #1 for suicides. It overtook agriculture some time ago. If we look at some of the other statistics among men, I mean, the industry is very heavily male dominated. About 87% of the population of construction is male. And unfortunately, we have some very inbuilt male stoic beliefs that are quite unhelpful. We don't talk about our emotions, we bottle things up, and the suicide rate is obviously higher. In fact, as a national average, there is around about 6,200 suicides every year. Over 5,000 of those are men. So we have an inherent gender problem about talking about our emotions and seeking help. We let the pain build up inside us until the only way out is sometimes to get out, and that needs to change. And in our industry. In Ireland, again, a significant problem in Ireland. 50% of all male suicides in Ireland are from construction. Again, another statistic that has really shocked the industry over there as well. And when you consolidate all this, if there's one takeaway or something that you just need to take away from this presentation, is that every working day in the UK and Ireland, 2 construction workers take their own lives. We are absolutely morally obligated to do something about it. We all have a responsibility to do something about it, and that's what our charity is all about. We want to put in place a whole surrounding infrastructure of help and support to make sure that somebody has somewhere to go to seek and gain help. So what are we doing about it as a charity? We have our mission. Our mission is that no construction worker or their family should be alone in a crisis. We want to make sure that there's no reason why they cannot have somebody to contact, somebody to support them, to help them through their crisis. So this is what we do. We have a 24/7 construction industry helpline, open to anybody in the construction community, whether you're a steel fixer, electrical contractor, all the way through to architect, civil engineer. Anybody in construction can call this helpline 24/7. The numbers are on the screen there, and it's like an employee assistance program. In fact, it offers nearly all of the attributes of any private employees assistance program, and is a safety net for anybody who has got no other system to help them in a crisis. We are there as a safety net. We offer emotional well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being, and cover a lot of the topics as shown on the screen here, whether it be stress, anxiety, depression. We will give people access to counselling really quickly if they're really struggling. In fact, one of the things that we do that no other employee assistance program will do is that we will give grants to people, charitable grants to people who are hitting poverty levels. And you can imagine over the crisis, the COVID crisis, our helpline has been heavily loaded with people who are in very close to poverty situations, and we've been sending food parcels out to our workforce and their families to help them through this crisis. The second thing that we introduced just over a couple of years ago, and it's on its second level iteration now, and we are loving it, is our little app. Our little app is freely downloadable from the Apple Store or the Google Store. It's fully available for MD. It's called the Construction Industry Helpline app. It took us a long time in marketing to come up with that name, you can imagine, but it does complement our Construction Industry Helpline. Everything is in that little app. Again, it's built around mental well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being, and the little app will give you coping strategies. You can learn more about the subject matter, and it also gives you all the pathways for extra support and help, including obviously phoning up our helpline. And then last year when COVID struck, we said we need to get on the front foot. We need to do more proactivity in helping our workforce cope with the stresses and strains of this horrendous pandemic that has struck the world and our economy. And we put together an education and training program. It's all free. People can access it. It covers a whole plethora of topics, from managing, coping with stress, building resilience, work-life balance, mindfulness, meditation in construction. That's an interesting one, but very well attended. Also, how to manage a family budget, because a lot of our calls coming into the helpline are people who cannot manage their family budget, and it's not stuff you get taught at school, and you don't know good debt from bad debt. So that's a very valuable little course. These are 45-minute courses. We're also training mental health first aid as well, free, and also a half-day workshop on mental health awareness for people who are supervisors in the industry, so that it can help people identify somebody who may be struggling a little bit. So you can see from these 3 areas of support that somebody can do some self-help through the app and learn a little bit about their condition and see some coping strategies so they can self-educate. If they need support, they can phone a 24/7 completely confidential helpline and get support, or they can learn and be proactive about gaining support And with the first mental health first aider program about delivering that into the workplace, there will be people on site to be able to go to, the go-to person on site to be able to talk to, who will have special skills to help that individual, not only to recognize if they're struggling, but also help signpost them to work. So you can see how we're building an all surround infrastructure to help individuals, and all of it is absolutely free. So are we on mission? Yes, we think so. Our helpline last year was inundated with calls. You can see the peaks coming through here in March when lockdown came down, and strangely enough, we are seeing another peak now in January this year. It's peaking again. People are struggling out there. Our workforce is struggling. Many people will be coming off furlough, and maybe they won't have jobs to go to as well. So we're seeing a lot more going in, and our helpline has got caseworkers that sit behind the front desk of the helpline, and these caseworkers are highly professional individuals who will fight tooth and nail to make sure that every individual gets all of their entitlements, their state entitlements. And we've leveraged nearly just over £500,000 worth of leveraged benefits where people didn't know they were entitled to stuff, and we've helped them fill the forms in, because some of those forms are pretty tough. So we feel we're on mission about supporting. Our app is doing really well, over 20,000 downloads of the app and growing. And again, if I would advocate one thing for this group to do is download the app, go onto the store, download the app, and just see the actual massive amount of information that's contained in that app to help anybody in the industry. Again, absolutely free. Just download it, get it on your phone, and it gives you some pathways to get support. And with the training as well, we've done a huge job. We've trained over 2,700 people last year, coming through work-life balance, coping with stress, meditation, resilience. All of these workshops we've been running have been very well attended. And again, it's getting that message so people have some inbuilt skills to cope with, to give them some resilience against the issues that are surrounding us today. So what are our challenges as we look to this year and beyond? Well, the first thing is we can't help people if they don't know we exist. So one thing is we've got to do is get more awareness. The second thing is, and what has been a big eye-opener to us, is that last year all of our events were cancelled. So the only way we can make all of these services free is we put on a lot of events. We have a lot of fun to create the fundraising to make all of this activity free. And last year all that stopped because we couldn't have any events. So we need to find a new way of helping cope with that. And finally, it's about, we've got to keep our costs down as a centre. So we, like every other company, needs to use innovation to work smarter, not harder. So on the first one of awareness, we are launching a huge new campaign in Mental Health Awareness Week, which is on the 10th of May through to the 16th of May is Mental Health Awareness Week. It's called Help Inside the Hard Hat, and we're hoping to get this message out to as much of the industry as possible. It says that our industry can be physically and mentally tough, we know that, but we want to make sure that people know that we are there for them. And if you or a workmate needs support, we're always here to help inside the hard hat. And how that is going to be operated is that we are going to put these highly colourful posters out on as many hoardings as we possibly can. And each one of those posters carry a message such as this. He was such a polite lad, it didn't make sense when he left without saying goodbye. If you or a workmate are struggling, help is inside the hard hat, phone this number. He was a joker, the one who made everyone on site cry with laughter, and then one morning we just cried. Again, if you or a workmate see somebody struggling, help is inside the hard hat, phone this number. So it's about getting the message across about, so if you see somebody struggling, then please get them to contact us, and we can hopefully get through to a better place. The second thing is a predictable income, and this is where you can help. You can help in two ways. First of all is spread awareness. Please, if you can and you've got access to be able to take the message here, then please spread the word and support us. You can get access to the helpline cards and the posters and the training. Get hold of these and distribute them through your distribution channels to everybody you know in the workforce. And if that's all you do, that would be fantastic. The second thing you can do, if you've got broad shoulders and you have got some capability of giving us some financial support, is that the thing that we desperately need is annual pledges from companies, because it was a real fright last year when all our events were cancelled. So we need to build up as a charity a portfolio of companies that support us on an annualized basis. And if you could make an annual pledge, doesn't matter how much, as long as it comes in annually, that would be absolutely marvelous. If you can't do that, then we're saying, well, maybe you could make one day a year a fundraising day for our charity. We call this a Lighthouse Day. Lots and lots of fundraising ideas as to how you can make an event work when we can have events. And if you can't do that, then again, with our 21 regions and our national office, we run lots and lots of events around the country. Golf features very highly if that's your thing, and lots of other events. So you can find out what events and you can join in. That one's really good for networking as well, because you'll meet other people in the industry in your area, and it's good for networking. Have a bit of fun and raise some money for the charity as well. So that's it from me. It really was a whistle-stop tour of what we do as a charity, and hopefully you can get engaged in some way. And really thank you once again, ECN, for giving us the opportunity to tell you about what we do and why we exist. Thank you.